that's kind of what's going on with that case there. There was one bit I wanted to get at because they did pull up a tweet, and this is Farron Cousins on the Ring of Fire, and he brought this up, and I just thought this was funny, so I just wanted to add this real quick.
The century. And last week, of course, was an exceptionally bad week for Donald Trump. But it got even worse on Friday when one of his old tweets about Michael Cohen, actually attacking Michael Cohen for being such a bad lawyer, it was read out loud to the courtroom, at which point the entire courtroom erupted in laughter directed at Donald Trump himself. So yes, according to multiple people who were in the courtroom, the entire room burst out laughing at the former president. And that had to have been a massive...
What it was?
Well, we know how much he cannot stand being a loser.
Being
like,
humiliated.
and he's got to be winning everything, like in a very literal sense. And I'm not even saying that to be super funny. It's kind of literal for him.
Oh, yeah.
So being in that position for him, like where everybody's laughing at him, has got to be absolutely devastating to, the psychological issues he's already got going on.
Oh, I'm sure it drove him fucking insane. The tweet thing was this is why it was funny. So, prior to Cohen getting caught and flipping, right? Up until then, they showed all these tweets where Trump talks about how genius he is and what a great lawyer he is and da-da-da, and he picks the best people and all this shit. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, now, here's the tweet right after Cohen flips. And he talks about what Cohen's a horrible lawyer and he's a piece of shit. This is a total 180. So the jury's like, you can see it just in a heartbeat. As soon as he was disloyal, as soon as he went the other way. He should have just, in Trump's mind, he should have just gone to prison and kept his mouth shut for him.
Yeah, because, he's worth so much. People should just lay down their lives for him.
Well, and furthermore, Cohen, the whole part of the whole big deal was Cohen had to kind of, really attack him to get him to pay him. And Cohen recorded some of their conversations because he wanted to be able to show other people later on that no, Trump's really going to pay this time because he's notorious for stiffing everybody. So that's why he had all those recordings. But yeah, the Cohen testimony really damning. I mean, he's pretty much cooked. I don't know what else you could say at that point. But I want to get back to this because the question that everybody's been kind of asking is what's really the defense here, right? What is the defense they're trying to pull? And is it, it's not that they didn't know what they were doing. It's not that there wasn't really a crime. They're not really arguing that in court. They might on TV, but not on court. The Cohen's making all this up. Yeah, but it's corroborated. So there's not really defense. This is the defense Trump's doing. And this is what it is he had, and we saw that earlier with Lauren Boebert, he had a bunch of Republicans come down there and talk shit about the judge and the witnesses and all that stuff. And that's what it is. It's witness and jury intimidation. That's his whole strategy.
Trump is issuing his little clarion call to his acolytes in the Republican Party, and his henchmen are showing up en masse at the courthouse to say what Trump can't. Here's just a small sampling of what we've seen today.
And so I think the American people see this for what it is. They want to keep President Trump off the campaign trail. They're seeing what's happening in the swing states across America, and they're seeing exactly that this is draining down assets and resources.
So I'm going to point this out. Notice how all these guys are dressed just like Trump with the red tie and everything, the white shirt. They all went down there just it was like Comic-Con for
little
fascists.
army.
Yeah. Comic-Con for fascist douchebags. It was really bad.
Resources that can be utilized by the president to continue to forge ahead, to build a stronger economy, to secure our border, and to get our nation back on track. This is a sham, and that is the only thing this is. Michael Cohen has no credibility, no integrity, and this is weaponization against our president.
Where's the crime? There is no crime. The only crime that's happening here is this Democrat judge and the Democrat Party prosecuting their political rival right in the middle of a presidential election. The crime here is that the issues facing our nation are not being addressed by the Democrats, but they want to go after Donald Trump. And there's no...
I love that too. The Democrats aren't facing the issues of our nation while I'm playing hooky from work with all the other congressmen. So we can come out here and talk to the press and try and garner fucking votes and extra money. Oh man, they're just so full of shit. But it got worse because let me go. I'm gonna go to this. I think this is the Majority Report. The same. That was Brian Tyler Cohen. Oh no, this is Oh wait, well let's do this real quick. So Liz Cheney actually kind of slammed them for doing that because it was really tacky to show up to the court to do that. But here's Anderson Cooper, and he's going to talk about Liz Cheney kind of slams Mike Johnson. So the Speaker of the House was there to support Trump and talk shit about the judge's daughter. He went there and talked shit about the judge's daughter and Cohen and did all this, and he was reading from a script that Trump had given him when he was doing it. The guy's not even the president. I mean, I hate to slap his dick out of your mouth, but Jesus, Mike Johnson, you're third in line for the president, or second in line for the presidency. If Biden and Harris die, you are president of the United States. And you're going down there to suck up to Trump? You're way more powerful than he is. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Once again, the former president had a Republican entourage with him in court today, including more vice presidential hopefuls, and this time Speaker of the House, second in line to the presidency, Speaker Johnson, used the opportunity to take shots at today's star witness, something the former president is barred from actually, of course, doing.
This is a man who is clearly on a mission for personal revenge and who is widely known as a witness who has trouble with the truth. He is someone who has a history of perjury and is well known for it. No one should believe a word he says today.
Speaker Johnson also professed the innocence of the former president and called the trial a sham. His appearance led former Congresswoman, January 6th Committee Vice Chair Liz Cheney to write this on X. I'm surprised that Speaker Johnson wants to be in the I cheated on my wife with a porn star club. I guess he's not that concerned with teaching morality to our young people after all.
Oh my God.
I hate Liz Cheney, but sometimes she does something so evil it's good.
Oh my God, I just don't even know what to do with that. Oh my God. Okay.
Remember, this is the guy who has that app where him and his son can monitor each other's porn habits to make sure they're not watching porn on their phone or their computer. This is the ultra Christian,
right,
total right wing, Jesus freak, and he's there with the guy who cheated on his wife with a porn star. Well, I think she was just given birth at that point.
Well, I mean, it's definitely out of alignment. That fact shouldn't be lost on anyone,
Yeah, jury
anti-porn app he shares with his son. Let's go defend the guy with the, porn star cheating situation that's all over the news. Yeah, definitely align yourself with that, buddy.
The adjudicated fraudster, the adjudicated rapist. I mean, open racist. I mean, it's just amazing. This is the guy. Very Christian of you, Mike Johnson. Very Christian. It got a little worse. So this one is the Majority Report. They're going to jump in. So this is Tommy Tuberville. And how do we know that Trump wrote them scripts and they're doing what they're doing this at Trump's bidding? And Trump called them and they all left work early and ran over there. So instead of actually legislating in the least productive Congress in the history of this country, instead of doing their jobs, they're at the courthouse talking shit to the press in New York instead of being in D.C. where they're supposed to be. Instead of doing that, but why do we know that they did it? Because Tommy Tuberville, the dumbest person in Congress, or in the Senate, I think he is, got up and explained, yeah, we're doing this because Trump told us to. And Sam Cedars going to cover this on the Majority Report. This is just crazy to me.
Arguably, admitting to a violation of a court order.
Well, he pretty much can't defend himself. So I was really disappointed, Chris, on how this whole thing was run. But President Trump's in good spirits. I spent a day with him. Hopefully we have more and more senators and congressmen go up every day to represent him and be able to go out and overcome this gag order. And that's one of the reasons we went, is to be able to speak our piece for President Trump.
That makes me raise my eyebrow. Overcome this gag order?
He just admitted it. We're trying to circumvent the gag order. Except for, in the gag order, Trump cannot direct other people to say shit. And he just admitted it. So Trump's in violation of the gag order. Now, the judge isn't going to do anything probably at this point unless the prosecution, files, a motion to find him in contempt. And I don't think the prosecution's going to bother at this point because Cohen's their last witness. So once he's done testifying on cross-examination, they'll do their rebuttal, and then, boom, they're on to closing arguments. This could be over next week. It looks like it's going to be over next week. Depends on how long the jury deliberates. Can't imagine it's going to be super long, though. They're going to basically walk out of the courtroom and then walk right back in. It's going to be like a Mel Brooks movie. How does the jury find the defendant? Your Honor, we find the defendant extremely guilty. So we'll see how it goes for Trump. But man, this thing's pretty much cooked.